Hello guys, Michal Hucko here and welcome to another video of our Pandas tutorial. In this video we're gonna talk about selecting from data frame. I hope you are ready for this because we start directly in the Jupyter lab right now. So as you can see, we will start with the basic reading the CSV file into the data frame as in previous video. Now, selecting can be done and accomplished with many ways, and I will just cover some of them which are my favorite, and honestly I think you don't need anything else to be able to work with pandas properly. There are some couple of other ways, but I think they are overrated. So let's start with the columns. So as you can see from the previous video, I mentioned that by running the columns you can list all of the columns, and let's say we want to select from the data frame only the fence part, so the part which is specifying the fence of our house or the house which we are interested in. But let's say we want to return all the houses, okay? So we have the data frame, and by calling that fence we can see that something like this is being returned. Now if you remember from previous part, I will open it in the new window. When I read the data frame and when I put the head, the data frame looks something like this, but the output of the fence is a little different. Now what is this? This is called a pandas series, and you can think of a pandas series as an array in pandas, so a one dimension, only the elements in one dimension. In this case, as you can see, the fence has some NaN values, but then some NaPRV, GDPRV values, right? So we don't know what are these values. So basically the right way to find the way to find the description of this is to go here, find the fence, and here you can see that the fence stands for fence quality, and the GDPRV stands for good privacy, MNPRV stands for minimum privacy, GDVO good wood, minimum wood wire, and then there is the NA no fence. So in this case NaN is standing for the no fence, right? So if you want to choose just one column from the whole data frame, you can access it with the dot notation. But sometimes, as I mentioned, you can have the name of the column number or a tuple, right? And you cannot just call a dot tuple or dot number in Python. This will return an error. And for this case, pandas give you a second way how you can access the series or the one column. It's with the square brackets. So if you run the def square bracket fence is the same thing as previous. The panda series has been returned. Now the series has very similar properties to the Python pandas data frame, right? You can access the elements there and stuff like this. You can access it with the indexes. But you can just think of it as an array. I will cover it later, but right now think of it as a list of elements, right? And you can use it for accessing the rows, or also in this case the columns, right? Okay, right now go to another use case. You want to select a couple of the columns, not just one, right? So for this purpose, a notation like this is being used. So you have the square brackets and then inside the name of the columns. And in this case, as you can see, a soup data frame, so a smaller data frame from the data frame has been returned. So we are asking for the lot shape and land contour, right? Again, if you are interested about these properties, go to the description file and find out the description of these values, right? But the key point objective of this video is to teach you how you can select things from the data frame. So if you want to get multiple columns, you have to use this square bracket notation, right? You cannot use the dot in this case because there is no right notation with a dot. Now, okay, this was the selecting columns, but sometimes you want to select the rows, right? And as I mentioned, rows are specified with the range index. Now, for example, you are interested in the houses which has the selling value greater than 181,500, right? So you can see, you can create something which is called a mask, right? So from the previous, this returns the df sale price, I can put it here, returns all the sale prices now, and we are interested only for those which are greater than this number, right? And this returns bool pandas series, right? And this bool pandas series can be used as a mask. You can store it in the variable, right? Now we will have it in the mask variable, and then you can go and select the mask, sorry, the mask in the square brackets. And these, oh, mask, I misspell it. And these will return a subselect of the data frame. Now, many of you can say, well, how do you know, Michael, it's a subselect? It looks the same as when you put the head there, or as when you output it before. But as you can see, there is only 551 columns, rows, which has this property that the sale price was greater than 181,500, right? So quite expensive houses are there, in my opinion. Okay, so this is something which is called the conditional selection in the data frame. Now, you don't need to store it in the mask variable. You can put it immediately into the brackets like this, and this is quite common usage of the conditional selection. Now, in my opinion, putting it in the mask is much more readable for the novice guys, and if you are familiar and if you are comfortable more with storing it in the mask, feel free to do it. It's up to you. Now, let's go next, and sometimes you want to have multiple conditions. So for example, you want to have a sale price in the range less than $210,000 and greater than $181,500. Right? In this case, you can chain the conditional variables like this. And please note this difference, the main distinction difference between the condition in Python and the condition in Pandas selection. As you can see, you cannot put here the keyword AND, although it's a quite common keymon in the conditionals conditions in the Python, right? You need to put here this sign, right? And there is intuition for this. They have some reason, Pandas. I will not go into details like this in this video, but feel free to Google it, it's quite interesting. Okay, so this is the AND sign. You can go for the OR sign. The OR sign is, sorry, the OR sign is this, I have a wrong keyboard, right? Sorry. So this one, and this is the OR sign, right? And you can immediately negate something with the tilde sign. So no, we are not using the not keyword or keyword and AND, but we have these special sign symbols in this case. Beware that if you are negating something like this, only the condition in the brackets is being negated. If you want to negate the whole condition, you need to put it in the brackets. The one more important thing about this conditional selection is that all the conditions should be in these round brackets, right? So, okay, this negation has no results, but I want to show you the thing what will happen if you don't put the conditions in the brackets. So for example, when you put this, Pandas will return nothing. However, there are some of the results, right? So please beware to put everything in the brackets, and you will be 100% sure that it's working. So this was the conditional selection. Let's go next. I'm just showing you the examples which I showed you already, and which are not important. Now let's go to series, right? I said these are the Pandas series with the house prices. And the series object, because this is an object, has some of the properties which you can find here. And one of the very important methods of the series object is in. As you can see, there are a lot of functions about this series. I can cover some of them in this tutorial, but feel free to go to Google and try to find out what is this. But very important function is called isIn, where you can specify values which you are interested in. Now, if you put here the values, let's say these, the translation of this assignment is like, give me the bool index, right? The bool series where the sales price is in this list. So we are interested only in sales price of $181,500 and $210,000. Nothing else. It's not like range index, like between something and something. It's just this. Again, the bool series has been returned, so you can put it here, and there are only 6 rows. And if you scroll down to right, you can scroll here inside the output. You can see that the sales price is only in this list variable values. Now let's go next. So the first thing how you can select from data frame was with these square brackets, but, and this is a big but, the right way sometimes to select things, it is with a special attribute called lock or iLock. And let me show you the difference, right? So the same way as we did this, we can rewrite it. So we are interested into sale price of blah, 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 right? But just put it into the brackets as I did before. And put here the end. So the same way how we can do it is with the lock. So if you go here and we are interested in the same thing. So in the lock, you need to put here in the square brackets two attributes or two values. The first value stands for the rows which you are interested in, and the second value is the name of the columns which you are interested in. So for example, we are interested into these rows specified by the bool series, but we are interested only into sale price column. And in this case, only the sale price column, you can see only 166 values has been returned. Within this range will be returned. And now you say, okay, Michal, but how do I accomplish the same thing before? And in this case, there is a special sign for all the columns, which is the double quote, which is this sign, double dot. So the subdata frame has been returned the same way, and now lock is very important and it's used mostly. And I will explain you difference between the assignment with the square brackets and with the lock in the next video. Now you can also do things like df lock, and you want all the rows for the subselection of the columns which we did before. It's here. So you want these two guys, and this is the same assignment of these over here. So you can see two columns and 1460 rows has been returned. Now Pandas provides you also something which is called an index lock, df iLock, where instead of specifying the true the names of the columns and the names of the index, because here are the names of the index, again the difference will be explained further in further videos, you specify the index position within the data frame, right? So no matter the names of the index, doesn't matter the names of the columns, we are interested only in the index position. So we want the first element, so this element from the data frame, so the ID1. So if you put it like this, you get the 1. Yes, again, the notation in this case is the same as in case of lock. If you want everything, you put something like this, right? If you are interested only on the second column, you put it like this. If you are interested in the last column, you put it like this, right? So the basic notation of the Python lists is being applied inside this iLock attribute of the Pandas data frame, right? So again, the most important distinction between these two will be covered in the next videos. In this case, I'm just showing you how you can access the subselect part of the data frame within the Pandas, right? This can be quite confusing. Now, so this was how you can access the rows inside the data frame, how you can use the iLock and lock in the data frame. But I want to cover something more about indexes. Please note that, for example, when we run this code over here, so we were interested in the sale price between a range of numbers, you can see that the index is not starting from 0, and this you need to take in mind. Like, the index is not noting the position, right? This is the name of the row. So this is basically the name is 0. And why is there 7? Because this is the subselect of the original data frame. So although the original data frame was starting from 0, we were interested only in this position. So look at this. So if you go here and print here the data frame, and let's say you are interested only in a ID and in the sale price, so you can see that the 0 index was for this first one, which is the first one in here, and then the 7th, which we cannot see, is under here, was put here. So everything was ignored in this selection, and that's the reason why the next index name is 7, okay? So please note and bear in mind that the index is not the index position in the data frame, okay? It's the name of the row. Okay, this could be quite confusing. Again, some of the examples will be covered in the next videos. Okay guys, this was a little word about selecting from data frame. I hope you learned some useful commands and some useful distinction between the way how you can access the data frame. I hope I will see you in the next video.